Good afternoon, everyone. This is the From the Bench podcast. I'm Mark Janis, your host from Carpinteria, California, just outside the Montecito, California area, devastated by mudslides, and definitely we are being affected, and I'm going to go into some of that right now. I want to thank everyone for continuing to bear with me. Fortunately, I do have internet capacity. However, cable television is not available to me right now due to the fact that the provider needs to actually fix some fiber optic cable, apparently, and they don't know when they'll be able to do that. The issue is access. The U.S. Highway 101 north and southbound from Ventura, California, into the city of Carpinteria is closed. However, you can't enter from the south by State Route 150. Anyway, the latest numbers of this horrific tragedy include 17 fatalities. We have 12 people that have been hospitalized, 4 in critical condition at Cottage Hospital in Santa Barbara. That would either be Goleta or downtown Santa Barbara. And also, we have 8 people missing. Unfortunately, bad information got out there earlier by a mistake from those reporting Office of Emergency Management. Want to clear that up. There's 8 people missing, and this tragedy is on a scale that has not been seen in Santa Barbara rain-wise. However, the greatest tragedy that Santa Barbara has experienced is the June 1925 earthquake, a 6 to magnitude 7 earthquake hit in 1925, literally destroying the city of Santa Barbara. Montecito is more of a village between Summerlin and Carpinteria, and the home of many multi-million-dollar homes in that area, mansions, if you will. Many high-end property owners, including Rob Rouleau, Ellen DeGeneres, and Oprah Winfrey. But Montecito is unrecognizable. What I've actually done is I've gone ahead and posted some Montecito video via YouTube. You can just go to my site, accessmediaglobal.com. Wanted to also let you know excuse me, as we go forward here, I've also left the ABC affiliate KEYT Channel 3 in Santa Barbara. Their link is up on my site as well. Now, the issue with that is that they have Pacific time live newscasts throughout the morning and the afternoon. The latest newscast is up. And when they're not on the air live, which they generally are not during this time of the day, the last newscast would be 11 a.m., and then, of course, you have to wait till 5 p.m. Pacific time to get any updates, or 4 p.m. in the fact that the Santa Barbara County Fire and Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office and various first responders will be having a news conference at 4 p.m. Pacific time with any updates from Earl Warren's showgrounds in Santa Barbara. So you can look at that. You can look at the video. For myself, I'm doing relatively well. We are impacted by the fact that we do not have much of a supply. A lot of the supplies that we would normally receive via deliveries from the grocery type stores that we do have essentially are not available. So the shelves are a little bit bare in this case. What you would have to do, go the long way over State Route 126, over to the 5, and then over to the 166, which is essentially a highway that is up in the hills through Santa Maria, California, and then over to Santa Barbara. That's the long way if you're driving. If you're needing to get to Ventura or Santa Barbara, you can go to the CondorExpress.com or IslandPackers.com. They have been gracious enough to provide a water taxi between the Santa Barbara Harbor and Ventura and vice versa. Now, it does cost, I believe, $32 or so. That's just a rough estimate on my part, but the general rule here is we're pretty isolated because of the 101 closure. The city of Carpinteria, 13,943 in the shadow of the Santa Ynez Mountains that were burned by the Thomas Fire. We have issues infrastructure-wise along the frontage roads of Villarreal, Nideva Road, and Padero Lane, actually, where we have our issues based upon where the beach is located and the railroad tracks and so forth. A lot of mud and debris is going to need to be removed by the city of Carpinteria and the county of Santa Barbara. So we are a little bit fatigued, I guess I would say. And one of the things I needed to say is that I hope that this podcast and the website information is helpful and constructive, because what I'm seeing on a lot of social media platforms, we have a lot of people who are not in the situation that are bringing up conspiratorial issues. In other words, this is a big conspiracy by the United Nations, by the federal government, and all this stupidity. This is a natural disaster that would be along the lines of a major hurricane in the central part of the United States. And those of you in the southern and central part of the United States know what I'm saying. This level of destruction is not going to be restored in quite some time. It's probably going to be months, if not years, to see the infrastructure of the Montecito village restored. Matter of fact, I would say that short of a minor miracle, I'm not sure that U.S. Highway 101 will be open on Monday. If it is, that would be a modern technological miracle courtesy of Caltrans, our state highway overseers who handle situations like this. But this disaster and this flooding and mudslides has been nothing like I have ever seen in my life as far as the damage, as far as areas that we used to be able to recognize across the 101. The infrastructure is broken. Now, we have issues with water in Montecito, California. The Montecito Water District is having very many distribution points for water. You can go to KEYT.com and get that. I don't have and didn't bring to this broadcast that information, but I can certainly go ahead and do that in a future broadcast. I just wanted to let everybody know who throughout the Pacific Northwest and throughout this region that despite the isolation, I'm doing relatively well with all my supplies and food and the necessary water. As I said, the only thing we don't have is cable television. I'm not expecting that for at least another week. So even though I'd like to be commenting on the firing of Darrell Bevel as the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks, the dispatching of Tom Cable as offensive line coach in Seattle, and maybe discuss John Gruden's contract as the new Oakland Raiders coach starting next year, I can't do that. It would behoove me to give you the correct information, to give you the right information, and to just hopefully be more positive, because this is very depressing in the sense that during the disaster phase here, we see that, as I said earlier, 17 fatalities, 8 missing. We have 28 injuries, excuse me. That's gone up to from 25 to 28. 28 injured at this point. You're welcome to go to accessmediaglobal.com to look at the local broadcasts of KYT Channel 3 live streaming news. I will be here. I'm not sure when I'll be able to go ahead and get back on the air. Probably, I'm hoping Monday would be appropriate, but I'm not sure about that. But I want to keep you updated on the situation just outside Montecito, the Carpinteria Valley. Now, the Carpinteria Valley did not escape the ravages of the Thomas Fire, and neither did it totally escape the ravages of this latest rainstorm, mudslide, and flooding situation. However, we are still here. We're going to come through this. I would hope that because of the priorities that we once carried, in the sense that we put our hope and our trust in what we have, our jobs, our homes, our investments, but some of those investments have been destroyed. A lot of economy has gone down the tubes through loss of work. Employees don't have money. Many businesses will probably never return. As far as the issues of the last month, with not a good Christmas, the recovery has not happened due to the Thomas Fire. And this is just a consequence of that. Unfortunately for us, the rainy season for Santa Barbara County is November to about March. And I hope and I pray that we would humble ourselves, that we would help each other. And there's all kinds of time for analysis and speculation, but I don't want to get into that right now. It's not appropriate. What is appropriate is to be helpful and constructive and help where we can. So for accessmediaglobal.com, you can go get that information. You can look at some video that I posted within the posts. You can go to kyt.com through my post with the Access Media Global logo. My videos that I posted have my picture there. You can follow me at Mark at Access Media on Twitter if you'd like. I want to thank Michael Eliason, Public Information Officer of Santa Barbara County Fire, and all his wonderful photos, tragic as they are. They do tell a story, and photojournalists out there, the descriptions, unless you see footage, unless you see these photos, it doesn't do it justice. So basically, I'm asking the religious community, I'm asking the Christian community to come together. I'm asking the Christian community to pray for those of us in Santa Barbara County affected by the Thomas Fire and the resulting floods, because it will be quite some time, months, weeks, and or years to see this area recover. And I hope that we understand that all the things that we have a tendency to hang on to, our stuff, we need to hang on perhaps in a lighter kind of way, and that we need to readjust our priorities so that our hearts can be not so attached to lifestyles, not so attached to things, not so attached to these things that we put our trust in. And when they're taken away, where do we go? That has created a lot of confusion, a lot of anger. The 7 stages of grief are definitely real. And psychologists are definitely aware of that. And I just want to be a resource for positivity and a little bit of spiritual perspective. You're welcome to contact me on the Contact Me page. We'll be praying for you, and hopefully the Christian community will respond. Every pastor, every rabbi, of whatever denomination, Christian denomination or non-Christian denomination for that matter. We need your prayers. We need your practical support. We need help rebuilding Montecito, rebuilding the lives of people spiritually, and I just want to make anything that I can do, make anything available that I need to as far as resources, point you to the right resources. If I can't get you them myself, I will definitely keep a wary eye out in that regard. If I need to come back sooner, I will, but I'll probably come back today being Thursday, probably Sunday or Monday with another podcast. So from the Carpenter Valley, just down the road from Montecito and the mudslide devastation, separated by the mudslides, by the closure of the 101 freeway. I'm Mark Janish for AccessMediaGlobal.com. We'll see you next week. Take care. God bless you.